After a whole bunch of back and forth, stretching back months and months and months, Paramount apparently has actually won the bidding war for Warner Brothers after Netflix refused to increase their offer to the fairly ludicrous amount that Paramount, for some reason, was willing to pay for it and had endless funds with which to do so. Had offered. Now, that doesn't mean that Paramount is going to buy Warner Brothers. In theory, Donald Trump and the Trump administration, as if it's in any way independent, could decide that they don't want his billionaire buddies to buy Warner Brothers and CNN and turn it into a MAGA-friendly outlet. Maybe he'll have an issue with it. Maybe they'll be worried about media consolidation or something. So fingers very much crossed for that. But we'll talk more about the CNN part of it a little bit later on. For now, I want to talk about the actual dealing of how we got to this point. So Netflix pulled the plug on its deal soon after the Warner Brothers board of directors said it had determined that Paramount's $31 per share offer for the entire company was superior to Netflix's bid just to buy Warner Brothers movie and television studios and the HBO Max streaming service. This follows earlier this week when Paramount submitted the revised bid, totaling about $81 billion, which is far more than it itself is worth. Aren't businesses fun? Anyway, the offer included an increased $7 billion termination fee that Paramount would pay if the transaction failed to close because of regulatory concerns. Paramount said it would foot the bill for the $2.8 billion breakup fee Warner will now owe Netflix. So $81 billion and nearly $10 billion on the line if all these deals fall apart. It's just endless stupid money that they have to spend on that. And we'll talk later on about why that might be. For now, Netflix put out a statement saying, "We've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match. This transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price." And the reason they would likely want it is there's a lot of IP that's all balled up with Warner Brothers that Netflix would definitely like to have. As a result of this, Paramount will not only get Warner Brothers and HBO, but also CNN, TNT, TBS, the Food Network, just a whole hell of a lot of stuff. And like I said, Waz, we'll talk about what might happen with CNN later on. But we should also acknowledge that while there's serious concerns about Paramount and them being backed by Trump-friendly billionaire money, them buying it, there were also concerns about Netflix buying it as well. A lot of people were concerned that this could effectively ruin even more of what remains of the movie industry, that Netflix really doesn't like putting movies in theaters, so they've already been hurt so much, they might have been hurt even more. People are concerned about the consolidation that could lead to lots of jobs being lost. So there was no big win on any side of this, but what do you make of the way it appears to have ended?
Yeah, I mean, to echo what you just said, John, there were no good outcomes here, quote unquote good outcomes. One is Netflix, which again, if you care about movies being in theaters, like that's not Netflix's bag. It was really just a content library play in order to consolidate the TV business in ways that they've already done, but more so now with even more and better content than they currently have. And then you have a Nepo baby in Larry Ellison's kid, who has no proven track record in entertainment at all. There's no proof out there that this guy is gonna be an effective, CEO of a movie studio or a television cable company, right? There's no evidence that this kid knows what he's doing. It's just that his dad is extremely rich and is footing the bill. What this means, like every other consolidation, a bunch of people gonna lose their jobs. Less movies will come out as a result of this, less TV shows, just a shrinking of the business and a shrinking of opportunities for dozens, hundreds, thousands of creators and craftspeople and all the people that make up the entertainment industry here in Los Angeles, New York, and beyond. And so, yeah, it sucks all around.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, what I would love to see, obviously you'd have to message around it the right way, but if I were, the next Democratic president or whatever, and I wasn't like a Gavin Newsom who's probably fine with all this or whatever, I would be like, I am going to actually produce the next golden age in America. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna double down on the thing that produced our amazing American economy back before it was hamstrung by all these billionaires and consolidation. We are going to focus on competition. So I'm gonna be breaking up these companies into 1,000 pieces. If they can consolidate over the course of the past 20, 30 years, we can reverse that. We can make them sell off HBO, and we can make them sell off, Warner Brothers, and we can break out the TV and the movie divisions and everything, and inspire them to actually compete with each other, to produce better products, to hire more people. It has been done before after periods of massive consolidation, after periods where the wealthy had gotten way too much control over our politics more than 100 years ago. We can do that again, and I think there's going to be a lot of people who will be desperate for it when they see this. And even just for you're probably not working for one of these companies. You're probably not going to lose your job. But what do you think it's going to do to both the quality, but also the price when there's even less competition than there already is? It's definitely going to go up, and it would have gone up if Netflix had won this too. All of their prices just constantly go up. And so something needs to be done, but we need a leader who's going to be willing to actually stand up against them.